Hello, we've got a nice full body Pilates class today. So when you're ready, let's just hop onto our mats and we'll begin. We'll start by taking a nice deep breath in, arms up above the head, and reach over towards the one side. Good, reaching over towards the other side. And a nice deep breath in again, arms up. And then we're just going to slowly fold forward, really drop the head, bending the knees. And then reach the one arm up to the sky, squeeze back of that shoulder blade. And other arm up towards the roof, squeeze back, nice deep breath in. And lastly, let's just go up again, arms up to the roof, nice deep breath in and out. Well done. We're going to start by taking a nice wide stance, core nice and tight. We're really going to sit back with the bum as we go into a nice squat. Then we're going to go into a side lunge, heel raise on that side, down and over to the other side. Side lunge, heel raise. Keep going at your own pace. Make sure your core stays nice and tight and that you've got a nice flat back as you go into the movement. Well done. Last one. We're going to hold in the side lunge and keep going with the heel raises. Core nice and tight, up and down. Good job. Stay on your toes, reaching over to the one side and back. Core nice and tight. Make sure you're reaching in that oblique line. Keeping on your toes. Watch your balance. I know it should be burning by now. Well done. Let's go right over to the other side, side lunge and heel raise pulses. Keep going. Make sure you're really sitting back with that bum. Let's hold on the toes and reach over in that oblique line. Core stays nice and tight. Stay on your toes if you can. Well done. And then lastly, we're going to sit back into that squat, pulses up and down as we turn the feet in and out. Everything should be on fire by now. Keep going, really sit down into that squat. Well done. Shake out the legs. And then from here, we're going to go into standing, hands behind the head, core nice and tight. We're going to come up with a high knee as we rotate towards our leg, core nice and tight, back to center as we kick that leg back, squeeze up with the glute. High knee, rotating towards the leg, center and kick back, squeezing up with the glute. Option to hold onto the cupboard if it's easier, and make sure you're really gripping into the floor with your toes to help keep your balance. Last one, we're going to hold with that leg back, core nice and tight, raise up the leg, squeeze of the glute and back down. Let's just do hip extension pulses. Option to hold onto the cupboard if you're losing your balance. Well done. Let's shake out the legs. And then we're going to go right over towards the other side. Hands behind the head, core nice and tight. High knee as we're rotating towards that knee. Back to center, kick back, squeezing up with the glutes. Really hold onto the floor with your toes. Option to hold onto the cupboard if you're losing your balance. And then we're going to hold that leg back, core nice and tight, squeeze up with the glute, hip extension pulses, up and down. Really grip onto the floor with your toes. Option to hold onto the cupboard. Good job. Let's shake out those legs. And then we're just going to step into a down dog. Ankles nice and down, bum up into the air, really drop the head. Nice deep breath in through the nose and a long breath out. Let's go into a 4-point kneeling position, core nice and tight, knees a little bit further back than usual. We're going to shift our weight forward as we bring our knee to our elbow, and then shifting our weight back as we kick back, squeeze up with the glutes. So shifting the weight forward, knee to the elbow, and shifting back, kicking back with that leg. Good job. We're going to go into a tricep, push up elbows to the floor, squeeze up with that glute, step up to a low lunge, and knee touches behind the opposite knee. If it's very difficult, rather just step up to a low lunge without lifting the other leg, just to work on getting that leg up there. So we're going to go tricep, push up, kicking back with that leg, squeezing up, step up towards a low lunge, and the leg from behind is going to touch behind the opposite knee. Well done. Last push up, and then we're going to set up. We're going to kick back into a three-legged dog, and then bringing the knee down to the floor as we come down with the opposite knee. Core nice and tight. If it's very difficult, rather just do 4-point kneeling up to a down dog, just to get used to the movement. Last one. Let's set up back into a 4-point kneeling position. That same leg is going to kick back into a bird dog, arm forward, and then we're going to circle the arm and the leg out to the side and back to center. Core nice and tight. Make sure your pelvis is staying nice and stable and that you've got a nice soft elbow at the bottom. If this is very difficult, rather do a normal bird dog where you just kick back and forward with the arm and the leg. Let's come into a quick child's pose. Nice deep breath in through the nose and a long breath out. We're going to sit up again on the other side. So let's come back into a 4-point kneeling position with the knees a little bit further behind than usual, core nice and tight. As we shift our weight forward, we're going to bring our knee to our elbow, and as we shift our weight back, we're going to kick back, squeezing up with that glute. Keep going at your own pace. Let's sit up again into a 4-point kneeling position, core nice and tight, tricep push-ups, elbow to the floor, kicking up with that leg. Then we step up with that foot to a low lunge and the knee is touching behind the opposite knee. Keep going at your own pace. If it's very difficult, rather just try to step that leg up between your hands without having to lift up the back knee. Set up into a 4-point kneeling position again, core nice and tight. We're going to kick back into a 3-legged dog and then we're going to bend the knee coming down towards the floor. If it's very difficult, again, rather just go from a 4-point kneeling position to a down dog. Lastly, back to 4-point kneeling as that same leg kicks back, opposite arm forward, core nice and tight, circling the leg and the arm out to the side and back to center. Make sure your pelvis stays nice and stable and a nice soft elbow at the bottom. If this is too difficult, rather just do a normal bird dog where you're kicking the opposite arm, opposite leg forward and out. Good job. Let's go into another quick child's pose. Nice deep breath in through the nose and a long breath out. From here we're going to come onto our side, onto the one bum with the one hand out to the side. Core nice and tight, feet together. We're going to lift up with the glutes as we open the knees and then back down. If it's very difficult, rather go down onto your elbow for a little bit more stability and just try to get your bum off the floor. Alright, from here we're going to straighten that leg out, lower down as we bring our knee up to our chest and lift the bum as we kick that leg back out again. Core nice and tight, make sure you've got a nice soft elbow at the bottom. If it's very difficult, rather sit the bum down and then just bring the knee to the chest. That bum should be on fire by now. Let's go down onto our elbow from here, stepping back with that top leg, core nice and tight. We're going to lift the glutes as we rotate our pelvis up towards the roof and slowly back down again. Make sure you really squeeze up with those glutes. If it's very difficult, you can rather have both hands on the floor and just try to get the bum up as far as you can. Well done. Let's go up to a mermaid stretch, reaching over towards the legs. Nice deep breath into that rib cage and a long breath out. Then we're going to go over to the other side. Let's sit on the opposite bum, arm out to the side, core nice and tight, feet together. We're going to lift with that glute as we open up the knees and slowly sit back down. Option to rather go onto your elbow for a little bit more stability. That glute should start burning a lot faster. We're going to keep up there, leg out to the side. Core nice and tight, knee up to the chest as we drop the bum and then kick right back out again as we lift the glutes. If it's very difficult, rather keep the glutes down and then just bring the knee up to the chest and kick out. Well done, it should be burning. Let's go down, stepping back with that top leg onto our elbow, core nice and tight. We're going to rotate the pelvis up towards the roof as we lift the glute and slowly back down. Option to put both hands down onto the floor and just try to clear the bum off the floor. Keep going. Good job. Let's go into another mermaid stretch, reaching over towards the legs. Nice deep breath into that rib cage. And a long breath out. All right, from here, we're going to go back into a 4-point kneeling position. Core nice and tight. We're going to lower down onto our one elbow as the opposite leg is going to kick out to the side, putting down that knee and reaching the opposite arm and leg up towards the roof as we kick out. So elbow down, kick out to the side of the opposite leg, putting down the knee and reaching up towards the other side. If this is very difficult, rather just kick out to the side, putting down the knee and reaching up the opposite arm to still keep your balance. Okay, let's hold out to the side, core nice and tight, and then we're just going to lower that bum down and squeeze up, lifting that leg up. If it's very difficult, rather go down onto your elbow and keep the leg down and just try to clear the bum off the floor. Good job, that bum should be on fire. Let's just sit back towards our ankles, taking a nice deep breath in and a long breath out. Then we're going to go right over towards the other side. So we're going to come back into a 4-point kneeling. One elbow down as the opposite leg is going to kick out to the side, core nice and on. So kicking out to the side, putting down that knee as the opposite arm and leg reaches up towards the roof and back down. If it's too difficult, rather just kick out to the side and reach the opposite arm up towards the roof to keep your balance. Well done, that bum should be on fire. Let's hold there at the top, core nice and tight. Just drop the bum and squeeze back up. If it's too difficult, rather go down to your elbow and just try to clear the bum off the floor. Keep going. Good job. Let's shake out that leg. It should really be on fire. Let's just sit on the knees, take a nice deep breath in and a long breath out. We're going to stay on our knees with our core nice and tight. We're going to come up, squeeze up, drive through the glutes as we reach the one arm over to the opposite side in an oblique line, and then sitting back down onto the glutes and come up, reaching over to the other side. Keep going, make sure you're really squeezing up, driving up through the glutes. Well done. From here, we're going to step the one foot up to half kneeling, core nice and tight, step up to a lunge, back down, and then we're going to bring the other leg up to half kneeling, up to a lunge, and back down. If this is a little bit difficult, rather just bring the leg up to half kneeling and back down instead of going all the way up to a lunge. Let's just take a nice deep breath in and a long breath out. From here, we're going to come onto our side with the head resting into the hand, core nice and tight, and both knees bent. With the top leg, we're going to open up through the knee, put it back down, and then kick back, squeeze through that glute, make sure that pelvis stays nice and stable, everything else is staying still. Keep going, so open up through the knee, down, and kick back, squeezing through that glute. Last one, and we're going to hold that leg back there, core nice and tight, and circles. Make sure your pelvis is staying nice and stable, everything else is still. Keep going. Well done, and let's reverse those circles. Make sure you're keeping your leg up nice and high, core and tight, pelvis is stable. Good job, that bum should be burning. We're gonna hold the body with the bottom arm. Top arm on the floor, core nice and tight, and then push up into a tricep push-up and all the way down. Make sure you're really going into that side oblique line. Keep going. Good job, well done. Let's put our elbow down to the floor. Last little bit, core nice and tight. We're going to open that knee, knees up to our chest, and then all the way back down, closing the knees. Keep going at your own pace. Make sure you're really rolling back onto that one bum and staying nice and strong through the upper body, keeping up the rib cage. Shoulders away from the ears. Well done. Let's go into a quick butterfly pose, feet together. Just taking a nice deep breath in, drop the head, and a long breath out. Then we're going to go right over towards the other side. So we're going to go into a side lying position, head resting into the hand, knees bent. Core nice and tight, pelvis stable. We're going to open up the top knee, put it down, and then kick back, squeezing back through the glutes. Opening up the top knee, put it down, and squeeze back through that glute as you kick back. Everything else stays nice and stable. Alright, we're going to hold that leg back there, core nice and tight, and circles. Make sure your pelvis is stable. Make sure everything else stays still. Try see if you can make nice and big circles. Really squeeze up through that glute. Alright, and let's reverse those circles. Core nice and tight. That bum should start burning. Well done. Let's hold the body with the bottom hand, core nice and tight, and push up through the top arm into a tricep push-up and all the way down. Make sure you're really staying in that oblique line. Well done. Let's put down that top elbow, core nice and tight. We're going to open up through the top knee, knees up towards our chest, and all the way back down. Really roll onto that one bum, keeping the rib cage up and shoulder blades away from the ears. Let's go onto our back, pulling the knees up to our chest, and let's just take a nice deep breath in and a long breath out. We're gonna push the one hand into the opposite knee. Then we're gonna do dead bugs with the opposite arm, opposite foot, reaching out to the sides and back to center. Make sure your back is really pushed down into the floor and that you're pulling down with your rib cage. If it's very difficult, rather just keep the knee bent and do a light toe touch on the floor. Keep going. Holding the pressure into that knee, we're going to circle that leg out, keep the pelvis nice and stable. Option to rather bend the knee if it's feeling very heavy. And let's reverse those circles, keep the core nice and tight. Option to rather put your opposite foot down if you're starting to feel it in your back. And then last little bit, we're going to bicycle that leg out, bending the knee up to the chest, straight out and straight down. Bend the knee, straight up, straight down. Keep going. Option to put the foot down on the other side if it's feeling very heavy. And let's reverse those bicycles. We're going to do a straight leg up, bend the knee, straight down. Straight leg up, bend the knee and kick down. Good job. Shake out that arm. You should be feeling it. Pulling up the knees to the chest. And let's just take a nice deep breath in and a long breath out. We're going to go right over to the other side, pushing into the opposite knee, date bugs, opposite arm, opposite leg, going back and forward and back up to the chest. Make sure your back is pushed nicely into the floor, core stays nice and tight. Good, then we're going to hold there, core nice and tight and hip circles. Make sure your pelvis stays nice and stable, back pushing down into the floor. Option to bend the knee if it's starting to feel a little bit heavy or you're starting to feel it in your back. Well done. Let's reverse those circles over to the other side. Watch that pelvis, make sure the core stays nice and tight. Option to put the other leg down onto the floor. And then last little bit, we're just going to bicycle that leg out. So straighten the knee, straight down, bending up to the chest and keep going. Let's reverse the bicycle. We're going to go down, straight up, bend, and back down of that leg. Keep that core nice and tight. Option to put the other leg down if you need to. Well done. Let's bring both knees into our chest. Nice deep breath in as we slowly rock left and right. Focus on nice deep breaths. And then we're just going to take the one leg out to the side, holding onto that knee and opposite arm reaching out towards the other side. Try to put that shoulder down towards the floor. And over towards the other side, hold on to the opposite knee, other arm reaching out, trying to push that shoulder down into the floor. Really focusing on a nice deep breath in and a long breath out. From here, we're going to come onto our tummy with both arms in a cactus position, so 90-degree arms. And then the one leg is going to go into a scorpion pose, reaching over, trying to pinpoint that toe onto the floor and really opening up with the knee. You should feel a nice stretch in your shoulder at the bottom and the hip flexor at the top. Keep taking nice deep breaths in. And let's scorpion over to the other side. 90-degree arms, toe touch with that foot, opening up with that knee, and you should be feeling a nice stretch on the bottom shoulder and a good stretch at the top hip flexor. One more deep breath in and a long breath out. Bringing the leg back, let's go into a quad stretch, holding onto that one foot, really pushing the hip down into the floor and then aiming the heel towards the bum. Make sure that your heel's not lifting up from the floor. And let's stretch the other quad. Grab the foot, pulling the heel towards the bum and pushing that hip down into the floor. Let's release, and then we're going to step back into a down dog. Heels down towards the floor, bum up towards the roof. Nice deep breath in and a long breath out. Then we're going to walk the hands towards the feet, stay in the fold forward position. Nice deep breath in, bending the knees and arms behind the back. Really pull away from the body and gently just roll the neck left and right. Make sure your head stays dropped. One more deep breath in as we roll up slowly. Well done. Thank you so much for joining me today. I hope you enjoyed this workout. Please like and subscribe to my channel so I can keep making more of these videos. Have a lovely day.